Days after dropping his captain out of the Arsenal matchday squad, disappearing the Arsenal number 14 and letting the whole world's media know, Mikel Arteta has today officially stripped Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang of the Arsenal captaincy. But the question now is, who will be the next Arsenal captain? Also, what does this mean for Aubameyang's Arsenal future? And how will Arsenal line up in their massive game versus West Ham tomorrow? What is going on, guys? My name is Babs14 and welcome back to your boys channel. As per, make sure to go down there and smash a like on the video, and also while you guys are down there, please do consider subscribing to your boys channel as well, because let me let you guys in on a secret. We're on the road to 70,000 subscribers. But let's get into the Arsenal news, and let's start off with the Arsenal captaincy. Yesterday we discussed the potential departure of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, who of course was left out of the last Arsenal matchday squad and was disciplined by the Arsenal manager. Now in yesterday's video we did discuss the potential possibility of Aubameyang being stripped of the captaincy, but to be honest, your boy did not see it happening. We were saying that today breaking news from Arsenal was that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has been stripped of the Arsenal captaincy and will not be available for tomorrow's game against West Ham. Aubameyang's era as Arsenal captain is over. Arsenal have not stripped Aubameyang because of his on-pitch performances. Arsenal just don't see this guy fit to be the leader of the club anymore, the face of the club, the captain of the young players. And it's mainly down to the whole disciplinary issues, him being late time and time again, and of course other things behind the scenes. Arsenal, Mikel Arteta, Edu Gaspar and all the guys behind the scenes just had their doubts over Aubameyang being the right guy to lead Arsenal Football Club. And on that, according to the Mail, the controversy is amplified pre-existing reservations from figures inside the Arsenal training ground about Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's position as Arsenal skipper, concerns that are held not only by staff but by certain teammates. So some Arsenal staff members have always had issues with Aubameyang being captain, and reportedly even some Arsenal players were not sure if he was the right guy to lead them on the pitch. Well, that, my friends, is no longer the case. Aubameyang is no longer Arsenal captain. And also in terms of tomorrow's massive game versus West Ham, when Arteta was asked on if Aubameyang could return for the squad, he says we need a bit of time. It needs a bit of time to heal. For now, he is not involved in the squad. So Aubameyang is fit, he is available, Arsenal could select him, but Mikel Arteta is choosing not to play Aubameyang tomorrow and not involve him in the matchday squad. Now of course this could be seen as a punishment, but at the same time, in terms of Arsenal, even though Aubameyang might not be captain, he is still technically a very important part of the first team, and as of right now he's Arsenal's top goal scorer in all competitions. To leave him out of the squad again tomorrow is a massive call. Let's see if it works out. With Aubameyang being stripped of the Arsenal captaincy, are you guys for it or are you guys against it? But the fact that Arsenal are leaving him out of the matches for 2 consecutive games, there are now massive questions over Aubameyang's Arsenal future. And on that, according to Sky Sports News today, Juventus are interested in Arsenal striker Aubameyang. The player can leave the Gunners in the summer. However, his salary, which is 50 million euros, is out of reach at the moment for any interested clubs. So yesterday it was Barcelona, today it's Juventus. Massive European clubs want to sign Aubameyang, but the main thing here is the salary. Arsenal have made him the highest earner at the club. This guy is earning a very handsome salary. And also the fact that he's still under contract at Arsenal. If some other clubs want to sign Aubameyang, they're going to need to pay some sort of transfer fee. To then add that to the high wages as well, it's going to be very difficult for whichever club wants to sign Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. But in terms of Arsenal, they want to sign a brand new striker. They've stripped him of the captaincy. I just don't think Arsenal will be opposed to letting Aubameyang go in the upcoming transfer windows. And if that was to be the case, just don't be surprised if Arsenal fast forward the summer transfer business in terms of a big money striker and bring it to the January transfer window instead. Because without Aubameyang in the Arsenal first team, Arsenal don't have that many recognised goal scorers. The likes of Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Dusan Vlahovic, I think Arsenal look to accelerate that potentially in the upcoming transfer window. But yeah, in terms of the Arsenal captaincies, the woes simply continue. And talking about that, in terms of Arsenal's last 9 club captains, William Gallas was axed, Fabregas forced an exit, and likewise Van Persie. Vermaelen started 42% of Premier League games, Arteta started 8% of Premier League games, and Mertesacker started 6% of Premier League games. Koscielny forced an exit, and Xhaka and Aubameyang were both axed. 9 captains in a row that have either forced exits, not played many games, or been axed as captains. Arsenal simply just can't catch a break when it comes to club captains. But now that Aubameyang is no longer the Arsenal captain, it confirms that Arsenal are set to appoint a brand new captain, and this is going to be a gargantuan decision for Arsenal Football Club. In terms of Mikel Arteta, when asked on the next captain, he says, "We have a leadership group. In the last game we had Laka, we had Granit who was captain as well. it's not the time to make any rash decisions. It looks as if he's going to rely upon the Arsenal leadership group until the end of the season. And in terms of players in that group, of course, it used to be Aubameyang, but now it's Lacazette. I think Granit Xhaka's a part of it. I also believe Kieran Tierney. I've even heard the likes of El Neni and Holding as well. It's basically the players that have been in the club for the longest period of time. But what about the next long-term Arsenal captain? Well, according to Chris Whitley, he understands there are a number of candidates to take over as captain from Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, including Martin Odegaard, Alexandre Lacazette, Ben White, and Kieran Tierney. Now, starting off with Lacazette, I just don't see these being the case, because yes, while he is so experienced and he does show a lot of signs of leadership, he won't be at Arsenal come the start of next season. In terms of Benjamin White, I don't understand this either. He has only been at the club for a small period of time, and he might be vocal behind the scenes, but I just don't see him as a leader, at least not in my own eyes. But in terms of Martin Odegaard and Kieran Tierney, I do see some possible reasons. Starting off with the Norwegian captain Martin Odegaard. Arsenal, of course, posted a video last year, an open mic video of him versus West Ham, where you can hear this guy being very vocal and commanding the Arsenal players. And so when it comes to captains, in essence of what they are the managers on the pitch. They are meant to lead the team and tell them where to be. And in terms of Odegaard, as much as people might disagree with it, he is very vocal. He seems to be a very vocal player. And he also seems to be somewhat of a leader. And that, of course, is the reason why at 22 years of age, he's the captain of the Norwegian national team. But also in terms of Kieran Tierney, a lot of Arsenal fans will want to see this guy as the next Arsenal captain. He, like Odegaard, is a very vocal person, commanding his players, wanting the best, and also very professional. And he has also captained his country before in the past as well. But most importantly, when it comes to captains, I want to see the player being available. And unfortunately, when it comes to KT, he does have a very unreliable record when it comes to his overall fitness. But talking about a player that doesn't miss many games, what about Gabriel Magalhaes? Well, as Connor points out here, I think you need to give the armband to someone who's almost a guaranteed starter in the team, and that's Gabriel for me. I know his English isn't incredible, but it's a million times better than what it was compared to when he first joined. That's my pick. I see Gabriel Magalhaes slowly but surely developing into an Arsenal leader, and the fact that he's still 23 years of age, he looks to have potentially, and fingers crossed, a long-term Arsenal career. But most importantly, in this case, his English isn't the best, which of course is unfortunate, but it's also a factor that you have to take into account. But of course, in terms of captains and leaders, we do have a certain Granit Xhaka, who of course used to be the ex-Arsenal captain before Aubameyang. And on Granit Xhaka, Mikel Arteta says Granit is one of the captains and he's a part of the leadership group and he's a really important player for us. Now, Xhaka does have a very dodgy Arsenal history, but in terms of what you're from a captain, vocal on the pitch, Xhaka is that. In terms of reliability of playing games, Xhaka is most of the time always fit. And also when it comes to speaking the language, Xhaka is also very fluent in English. He of course is also the captain of Switzerland, and he's also one of the more experienced Arsenal players. But unfortunately, in the case of Xhaka, the thing that holds him back the most is his history with the Arsenal fanbase. But anyways guys, we have gone through the potential Arsenal candidates. Out of the entire current Arsenal first team, who do you guys think should be the next Arsenal captain? Okay, let's move on and let's talk Arsenal versus West Ham United. This game is gargantuan, this game is must win. This is a massive opportunity for Arsenal Football Club. The fact that West Ham have dropped points against Burnley in the last game, Arsenal have an opportunity at the Emirates Stadium to go above West Ham and into the top 4. But yeah, in terms of the Arsenal team news going into this game, Kolasinac and Leno are still out with injuries, whereas Aubameyang will miss the game due to disciplinary reasons. Out of those 3 players, of course, only Aubameyang is the key player there, and he is still Arsenal's go-to goal scorer, so let's see who starts down the middle, Lacazette, Martinelli, or maybe even Eddie Nketiah. Also, in terms of Emil Smith-Rowe, I do believe he's going to be fully fit and available. He was on the bench against Southampton, but if he was to come back straight into this Arsenal first team, who exactly does he replace? Because right now, Bukayo Saka, Martin Odegaard, and Gabriel Martinelli are all in form. If it came down to you guys, would you bring ESL straight back into this Arsenal team? In terms of the West Ham team news, David Moyes says that Aaron Cresswell is a doubt, while the likes of Ogbonna, Zuma, and Ben Johnson are all confirmed injured and out of the game. The likes of Ogbonna and Zuma are massive parts of the West Ham team that's advantaged Arsenal in the first place, and also in terms of Aaron Cresswell, also another integral part of David Moyes' team. And yes, while they are massive blows, they still have a lot of threat going forwards. Siad Benrahma, Pablo Fornals, and of course Mikel Antonio. Regardless of West Ham's injuries, this is still going to be a massive test for Arteta's Arsenal. But yeah, in terms of the Arsenal lineup, I think we'll see a 4-2-3-1 formation with Ramsdale in goal, Tomiyasu, White and Gabriel on the back 4, a midfield of Partey and Xhaka, and a 3 of Odegaard, Martinelli, Saka, behind the striker of Alexandre Lacazette. That is the exact same lineup of the Arsenal team in the last 2 games. And of course, you could play Martinelli down the middle and have Smith on the left, but with this being a massive game at home, I think think Arteta will go for the experience of Lacazette down the middle instead. But as per my friends, let me know your own Arsenal personal predicted lineups down below in the comments. David Moyes or Mikel Arteta? I don't know why people don't talk about Mikel winning a couple of trophies. I did not agree with a lot of criticism at Arsenal, and I think Mikel has started his career really well, with an FA Cup and a Charity Shield. So high praise on a West Ham manager, who of course used to manage Arteta during his days at Everton. But yeah, in terms of Moyes himself, we have seen quite a beautiful remontada. After all, he was written off after his time at Man United, he struggled at Real Sociedad and both at Sunderland. The second time lucky at West Ham, this guy has had a very decent spell, taking West Ham from a mid-table team to a team fighting for Champions League football. Even though of course I want to see Arsenal win, I need to say fair play to David Moyes. But bringing it back to our club Arsenal, this game is a massive opportunity. Right now Arsenal sits 6th in the Premier League behind Man United and West Ham. And talking about Man United, the Premier League have confirmed their game versus Brentford on Tuesday has been postponed. So with that being the case, Man United not playing. If Arsenal were to beat West Ham, we'd go above Man United, of course, would have a game in hand, and also above West Ham with the same games played, but most importantly also moving into the Champions League places. Mikel Arteta's Arsenal is under pressure. It's at the Emirates Stadium and Arsenal have a very good home record, and in terms of West Ham away from home, they aren't their best. Arsenal Football Club, the opportunity is arising. Please, for the love of God, just don't fumble it. But as per my friends, let me know your own thoughts going into this game down below in the comments, and what are your own Arsenal versus West Ham matchday predictions. Okay, moving on to the other Arsenal news today, and starting off with a scout that Arsenal have signed out of Germany from Bayern Munich, as Chris Whitley has revealed with an exclusive, saying that Arsenal have further bolstered their scouting department with the arrival of Florian Bluchel from Bayern Munich. Forget about Thomas Tuchel, talk to me about Florian Bluchel. Chris also says that Bluchel's role at Arsenal will be as the club's international first team scout for Germany, where he will combine traditional scouting methods with video analysis and next-gen player profiling. Arsenal of course sacked their first team scouts at the end, I believe, of last season, as they thought their Arsenal scouts were too outdated and they wanted to restructure. And of course, in terms of Germany, there are a lot of talents there that of course Arsenal could look to sign. So to get a guy that has 10 years of working with Bayern Munich, it of course is a massive boost for Arsenal Football Club. According to the Telegraph, Nottingham Forest are targeting a loan forward from the Premier League in January, with Florian Balogun one of their targets. David Ornstein has already confirmed that Arsenal will look to loan out Balogun in the next transfer window. And of course, in terms of Forest, Arsenal play them in the FA Cup, but most importantly, they are a team playing in the Championship fighting for promotion. But in terms of loan transfers, if Arsenal were to loan out Balogun, what league should Arsenal look at? Is it the Championship, maybe the Premier League, or maybe even a league like the Bundesliga? David Ornstein has confirmed that Arsenal are ramping up COVID-19 measures after some positive cases among training ground staff. No players affected as present. They will now be returning to some of the project restart protocols, e.g. testing in their cars before being allowed to train. Unfortunately, my friends, COVID-19 once again is moving like a madman, and yes, it is so jarring and it's annoying. But in terms of the Arsenal players, as Mikel Arteta says, no Arsenal players have tested positive for COVID-19, which of course is a positive, but at the same time Arsenal still will need to be careful, because as you guys have seen with the likes of Tottenham and now Man United, those games are being postponed simply out of COVID-19 cases. It is unfortunate, it is not what you want to hear, but as I said, it is what it is. But that is the video there. If you guys have enjoyed, make sure to go down there and smash a like on the video, and also do subscribe to your boy's channel if you guys are new. If you would like to follow your boy on them social medias, then the links will be down below in the description. But that was the latest Arsenal news today. Aubameyang stripped for the captaincy. Who will be the next Arsenal captain? The focus is tomorrow. West Ham United, massive game. I will see you guys later in a bit.